Okay everybody, welcome back to the Accommodation Show. This week I'm really excited to be joined by two legends of the short-term rental industry to be talking about the Here to Stay conference, which is happening in Queensland in only a few weeks' time. I am joined by the wonderful Pete Smith from Weekenda and Yoav Tourel from Guesty. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Welcome.
Thanks, Bart. Glad to be
having us.
It's awesome to have you both here, and I've invited you both because one, I've got a huge amount of respect for you two as individuals, but also you run terrific businesses in this industry, and you're both people that are willing to give back and spend your time trying to help others out. So it's great to have you on. But before we kind of get going, how about you guys do some quick introductions, and then we'll explain everyone what we're doing about the Here to Stay conference. So maybe Yoav, do you want to kick us off?
Fantastic. No, good. Thank you. And once again, thanks for having me. Kind of being with the two of you here, it's quite exciting. So I'm wearing two hats. One hat is the managing director of Guesty. Guesty is a property management software that specializes in short-term rental and have quite a strong operation here in Australia. My second hat is I'm on the board of ASTRA, the Australian Short-Term Rental Accommodation Association. I've been on the ASTRA board for the last almost 2 years now. And you mentioned before giving back to our community, giving back to our industry. That's what's in it for me. Being part of ASTRA, the ability to learn more, to learn from people like Pete, like yourself, to give back to our industry, to fight for our industry. And I'm very happy that as part of this involvement in ASTRA, we're also working now on this upcoming conference. So that's me, based in Sydney.
Yeah, good to have you on. And Mr. Pete.
Hey, thanks, Bart, and a pleasure to be here with you and Yoav. I've been in the industry now for about 15 years. I started with a little cabin down in Kangaroo Valley, which was just getting managed quite poorly by on-site management, and we just decided to get involved, and we threw a listing up on stays, and just one thing just led to another. It was really slow at first. It was a little side hustle, and eventually in 2011, end of 2011, so about 10 years ago, we decided to become a professional property manager, and we've now got 220 properties, 8 full-time staff, and a super exciting business that's just growing like crazy. And like Yoav, I'm here to help. I'm here to give back to the industry that's been so good to me. I was previously on the board of ASTRA, and this idea of the conference was floated some time ago, and I'm so excited to see it come to fruition, and to be able to have a role to play now, and also at the conference itself.
Yeah, and look, it's so awesome. We finally got there with the conference and getting it together and making these connections. We've done a few episodes in the past about different conferences and why people should go. And if you're in the audience, you're listening, you're going, what is this conference? Should I go to it? What's it all about? That's what we'll be answering today. And as you can tell with the two legends that are on the show, they're really, I guess it's all about giving back and forming a sense of community overall. But Yoav, can you kind of give everyone an idea, like from a higher level, what the Here to Stay conference is and what it's all about?
So the Here to Stay conference, and another reason why it's great to have Pete here, because it was really Pete, Rob, I believe, or I think also Rebecca Cribin and few of you that actually envisioned that conference way back, few years. Rob, our chair, is always kind of speak about it, how you guys wanted to do kind of what you see overseas here in Australia. So this is the first time that a conference by the industry for the industry is created, is established. It's come in probably a perfect timing we're after the 2 years of COVID, being one of the most locked down places. COVID had a huge impact on our industry. A lot of it, by the way, a positive impact on the industry in terms of bringing new audiences, new guests to the short-term rental operators. It's changed the nature of the industry, the expectation of the guest. So that's one element. The second element, we are now going through a period of time when there are lots of discussions about regulation. New South Wales launched the Code of Conduct last year, and then the registration approach, recently the exclusion registry that's happening in New South Wales, Byron Bay. There is now the activity or the discussion about the future there. We see it in WA, in Queensland, South Australia, different places. So it's a great timing to speak about it, to understand the concern, to voice the concern, to see how, as an industry, we can deal with it together. It's also a point of time when the industry wants to professionalize. Being in continuously growing, the industry wants to step up its game. They want to learn more about guest experience. They want to learn more about how to perfect the operation, about branding and marketing. So bring everything together. That's what this conference is all about. To share, or I would say even in before that. First of all, bring us all together. We haven't been together for a long time. Okay, so let's network. Let's meet each other. We know from the registrants that how much they want to see each other. Then to learn from each other. There are, I can't remember kind of how many kind of panels we have there now on the conference with the hot topics that some of them were requested by the audience, other we curated, but to learn, to get some insights, to get involved. So this is in a glance, or more than a glance, what this conference is all about.
Yeah, I love it, and I think that your summary really goes pretty deep in terms of all the different facets that bring this sort of new and emerging industry together. And Pete, you've been in the industry for, you said, 15 years, I think, and you've seen it evolve and change and grow and adapt. Pete, I want to go back to something that was said at the very start, was the idea was to try to bring a conference like the ones that we see overseas to Australia. And I know that you're one of the people that kind of inspired me to book my tickets to go over to the VRMAs in the US. Well, I kind of knew that I was going to go, but you gave me that push over the edge, to saying, kind of looked me in the eye, man to man, like, Bart, you've got to go to this conference. Tell us a bit more about that particular part and that feeling for you.
Sure. I feel like I'm a bit of a conference junkie. I love going to conferences that bring value add. I think the industry, I suppose, for such a long time, and this goes to Yoa's point about the professionalisation, has been a bit of a cottage industry, and as such, we've formed our own small groups, and we've got together and we've met and we've talked and we've shared information, and that's been fantastic and really helped me to grow my business. But the time is now for us to professionalise that, and I think the Here to Stay conference through ASTRA is a brilliant way to do that. It piggybacks off the back of the Burma conference, the Vacation Rental Managers Conference in the States. It's in Vegas in November. I'm pretty excited to be going to that conference again. It's been a couple of years since we've been able to go to that with COVID restrictions. But that definitely is the gold standard, I think it'd be fair to say, in conferences globally. And I'm super pumped about the agenda and the sessions that we've got for the ASTRA conference. It's been delightful, actually, and way beyond my expectations of what we might achieve in the very first time that we do this conference. There's Kieran talking about scale. There's Rebecca talking about show me the money. There's Bart, you're talking about Blue Ocean and the big opportunity with booking direct. There's just such a lot of sessions. I'm not going to miss one single session. I'm really excited to see what's going on and be a part of it. You mentioned I'm facilitating a session and a panelist on another one, and I'm so exciting to be a contributor, but just as exciting to be an attendee and learn from the greats of this industry.
Yeah, and on the attendee part, I kind of want to get into it a little bit more because I guess that there's property managers that are, 100 properties, 150, 200 properties, and they've already got teams and systems and process and that sort of thing. Then you've got smaller operators looking to grow. Then you've even got mums and dads or investors that are looking to get, on the short-term rental path or to really understand a bit more about it. What I'd really love to know, and I know that you've said you're a conference junkie and there's reason behind that, but and I kind of know the answer to this, so it's a little bit cheeky, but your business, do you feel that you would have got to where you are today had you not had the Verma conferences and these conferences that you've been to in the past?
Yeah, there's no chance. There's actually no chance that we'd be where we are today without the inspiration that I've drawn out of those conferences. I suppose the very first attempt at this was done by Stays, I don't know, 6 or 8 years ago, and they pulled the industry together, but it was really a Stay-sponsored exercise, and we were sort of just coming along for the ride. And while it was great, it sort of had that theming. So it's really terrific for this time round to be a totally independent and industry-led conference. And but to answer your question directly, no, there's no chance we'd be where we are today without attending the sessions, learning and networking and linking up with these professional operators out there who are all doing just such amazing things. And I can tell you, when I look through at the speaker list, I think I've met 80% of those people and learned a ton of things from those people over the years that's helped me to get my business to where it is today.
Yeah, and there's that real sense of community, isn't there? There's kind of really pretty much no one on that lineup that you wouldn't be able to give a call to and have a chat about your business with, right?
Yeah, we're genuinely an open book in this industry. It's a really refreshing and delightful thing about our industry is that everyone's there to share, and everyone shares. They open the books up, and you can see what's under the hood, and that's just it's just a great place to be. I don't think there's too many industries, by the way, where genuine competitors will talk openly with each other about the challenges and the wins, the losses, and so on.
Yeah, and I think there's also that advent of us still being that kind of cottage industry, and as we professionalize, there'll be more and more competition. Interesting enough, there's a lot of traditional real estate agents that have signed up and that are coming to this conference as well, and there's a whole mixed bag. Yoav, I think I would be a little bit remiss not to quickly have a mention of a couple of things. One thing that I think is important, so just for full disclosure, I am also a board member of ASTRA. I got dragged in over a year ago to help with finding some speakers for this conference, and now I'm the kind of person that gives back, so I want to be part of this journey. I want to be part of the conference. I want to help organize it and run it and create a future of ASTRA so that it can be representative of everyone out there and to get this community together. Yoav, we've got maybe about 150, 200 people that will be attending the event, if not more. But I do want to mention the sponsors at this particular moment because this is the one conference where, had it not been for the sponsors, literally there's absolutely zero chance of this particular thing happening. And I think that I want to give them a mention, but also maybe give them a bit of context as to maybe give who's sponsoring, what does that particular part look like. I think that could be quite interesting.
Good, and yeah, we are fortunate to have some really good names and companies sponsoring us. I'll mention kind of the sponsor, but I want also kind of to connect it to what you just kind of both of you just said. There is something unique about our industry. They want to share, they want to learn from each other, and we've seen it also through the sponsors. We've seen through the sponsors that they wanted and they were very interested to sponsor the ASTRA event, knowing that it's the first one, and kind of everything can happen with the first conference, but they basically they trusted us because they want to get involved as well as to learn and to be part of the discussions. So we have in the conference few tiers of sponsors. The first tiers are the platinum sponsors. In the platinum sponsors, we have Booking.com. Who were one of the first one that jumped in and wanted to sponsor the conference. Another platinum sponsor is a property management company called Holiday Rental Experts. We mentioned before Rebecca Cribben, who kind of was one of the visionaries of the conference. So that's our company. In the gold sponsors, we have a few interesting companies. We have Home Hero, property management solution. We have HomeSure, which they are kind of dealing with insurance. We have IoT locks, which are remote lock solution, and we have Guesty. That's another kind of disclaimer. I mentioned that's the second hat, but also there. Then we have in the silver sponsors, we have Home Time. In the bronze sponsors, we have another property management company, Escapia. We have Allogio, property management company, Price Lab, and TouchStay. We also have a few exhibition sponsors led by Turnover B&B. And a supporting partner, Destination Gold Coast. And there's still few emails out there with sponsors that are waiting to get approvals. So hopefully we have a few more in that list. But we're very happy to see the interest from the sponsors to be involved in this conference.
Yeah, and look, for those of you that are listening and that are going, why are you sitting there doing a list of all the different sponsors? I think it ties into the whole puzzle that we're trying to put together. So you're an operator and you're figuring out whether you want to go to this conference. You're going because you want to support. You're going there because you're going to get a sense of community. But you're also going to connect with sponsors that have got great products that fit into the industry as well. So it's this amalgamation. If you're really want to professionalize your business and be in the right circles, it's a great opportunity to get something out of it. And what I hear all the time is, if I can only take one tidbit from a conference and take it back to my business, it's worthwhile. If you're into short-term rentals, you're not going to get one thing out of this, right? That's impossible. You're going to get hundreds of different things out of it. And if you don't know any of those company names or any of those people that we've mentioned, that's going to be a huge win for you, just to be able to go and have a bit of a chat and see how other people are doing things throughout the industry. So that's a really nice sort of way of smashing it all together. Folks, the conference is in Queensland at the Sharks on the 10th and 11th of October. There will be a gala night, which is basically a good opportunity to have some drinks, let your hair down, some bands playing, that sort of thing. We will have some small awards as well for some recognition for people out there as well. So you'll be able to take advantage of that. Look, I know that I'm not trying to sell this thing. I'm just trying to give everybody an idea as to what it's all about. And that's a question I get asked all the time, is what is it all about? What is going to happen on the particular days? I think it would be good just to wrap us up as well, Yoav, if we could talk just about the number of speakers that we have involved and kind of where they're coming from the industry as well.
So we have, according to the last count, I think more than 35 speakers that are really coming from. It's a pretty much a buffet of knowledge of our industry, if you want, from property management, from property manager leaders, the like of Pete Smith, Rebecca Cribin, Will Creedon from Allogio. We have from the OTAs, we have from Booking.com, we have from Expedia and from Verbo. We have from property management software like pretty much everyone, I should say. I think that's also something kind of very nice, by the way, that it's like the UN. All the PMSs are coming kind of together. We'll have the guys from Omiro and from Newbook and from Resley and from Escapia and from iRoom and from Guesty. So you will hear from them as well. Who else? Help me, Bart.
Data
I'm
guys,
kind of
our
missing.
data guys. You forgot about the data guys.
You see, it's kind of I'm forgetting because there's so much in it. We have Julie George as the MC. We have the data legends from Tourism Research Australia and Tourism Australia that are coming. We have two speakers that each one brings a different angle, domestic and international. We went through the briefing session with them. Amazing data and amazing insights are going to be presented. We have a keynote speaker from Booking.com from Amsterdam that is coming in to one of the discussions. You mentioned Kirin with scaling kind of the business. Bart, it's recorded and shared on LinkedIn. Now I'm messing with my network. So if I'm forgetting anyone.
What about, we've got Theron Lewis, who's the regulations guy. We've got Tracy Northcote, who's coming over from Japan. So it's a real mix of people. We've got Matt Landau, who'll be doing an introduction for us as well. So I think where I want to sort of tie this off as well, and Pete, you might have something to add here, is people are putting their time, effort, and money into this event to try to make it better and to try to make it good. Our speakers are doing it not because we're paying them lots of money. We don't have any money to really pay them. They're doing it to help everybody else and to spend that time and that energy, that effort. There are folks that are coming from the hotel space that are also helping us.
Correct, yeah.
Because they're helping to professionalize. They understand that there's movement going on. There's opportunities going both ways. So that's a really kind of cool part. So we've got the sponsors, we've got speakers, we've got the gala event and all that kind of stuff. And then we've got all the knowledge. Now, Pete, I think that you're coming down. Are you bringing any of your team with you?
Yeah, I'm bringing half my team. I can't take them all offline because, someone's got to pay for the thing. But we're definitely, I'm bringing half my team to the conference, and they're super excited. This is the first time that all of them, apart from me, have actually been to a conference. So these guys they're excited to be part of the conference. They're excited to get away from the kids for a couple of nights. They're excited about a whole bunch of things. So I'm really...
Which is, I'll just the fact that you're bringing your team, and we heard also on others that bring in team. That's also part of the need of the industry is to invest in our staff. We know how valuable they are, and it's also a good thing that we have that conference that they can learn. That some of them might be even acknowledged on stage. So that's also really good.
Yeah, beautiful. Gentlemen, I think we've done enough to pitch this conference and to pitch this event. And hopefully if you've tuned in and you're listening and you didn't know about the conference, this has given you a bit more of an insight as to what it's about and what you could potentially glean from it as a business owner. I definitely recommend you give it a go, give it a try. I like the fact that conferences are generally tax deductible for everyone, so that's always a nice one. And the other thing is that we're super approachable. So if you watch this episode and you want to come and tap Pete, myself, or Yoav on the shoulder, or pretty much anyone in the room, anyone will be happy to have a chat with you. So, gentlemen, I wish you a fantastic rest of the day. I'm looking forward to seeing you in a few weeks' time. I think that's a wrap. Is that right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Bart. Thanks for the opportunity to have a chat this up.
Really
Thank you.
appreciate
Thank you
both
for
of you
doing
so
it, Bart.
much. Take care.
Thank you. So